right. My name is Matt Scott from Connecticut News. Be honest, round of applause who actually knows who the hell I am. My therapist says this is fine. I am delighted to be here for two reasons. Always I come to support events like this. The first reason is, as you know, we are here to benefit the Hole in the Wall gang. They're out in the main tent to come to support events like this to help support some of the kids who really need the help. That's why you're here, in addition to the food and the drinking and the chefs. So give yourself a round of applause. The second reason I'm here is this counts towards my community service. So, a couple more of these, I got the old ankle bracelet off, we're good to go. All right, I got the good chef to introduce today, and I wonder, you are familiar with it because I know when she walked into the joint, there was a buzz going on. And I assure you, nobody does that for me when I'm on TV doing the weather forecast. That's for sure. Chef Kimberly Schlapman, I mean, she is a Grammy-winning, part of the Grammy-winning country force of Little Big Town. You've heard of that, right? Honest to God, I was at a bar the other night and I approached a woman and I just said, I got a girlfriend. And she responded with, I have some maize here and I will use it. So really, it didn't quite work out as well as I hoped it would, but that's all right. Not only is obviously she a wonderful singer, she has been a chef for so long, inspired by her roots in the Appalachian foothills of North Georgia. I spent some time close to there in West Virginia many years ago, so I know this kind of cooking. In 2012, her lifelong dream came true when she received the opportunity to host her own cooking show, Great American Country's Kimberly's Simply Southern. Talk about all her lifelong dreams coming true. She's in an award-winning, Grammy Award-winning band. She's hosted a cooking show, and now she's sharing the stage with me. Yeah! She's going home going, who the hell is that Matt Scott guy? I have no idea. Today she's going to be preparing the best glazed apple cake. That's what she says. I'm inclined to believe her. I'm going to get off the stage. I asked her not to throw any eggs at me. She said, I won't. I need all 3 eggs that are on the table behind us right now. So without further ado, would you please do tonight, rousing,
It's my dream to do the weather someday, so.
I will put you to work. You say the word.
Oh my goodness, thank you for coming. I wasn't sure anybody would show up. Thank you so much. I'm going to get right into what I have to start with because it takes a few minutes and then we're going to chat for a minute. This is my grandmother's glazed, my sound guy would say back away up in the night. This is my grandmother's glazed apple cake, and it starts out by creaming 2 cups of sugar and a cup and a quarter of canola oil. And when sing it, I got a food. Okay, I've never worked this fancy Cuisinart, so here it goes. Look at there, it worked. So when you cream something, I used to watch my grandmother cream oil and sugar and all kinds of things. And she said, you put it on and then you let it go because it's got to get really nice and fluffy. So while that gets fluffy, I'll just tell you a little bit about this cake. First of all, I grew up in North Georgia, up in the mountains, and our whole lives revolved around food. My mother taught me that that's how you take care of people. You cook for them, you feed them, that fills up their belly and it makes them happy. And my mama would show up if somebody broke their leg, if they had a baby, if they got a new job, if they lost their job. She'd show up at their house with a casserole or a pie or a cake. And it made people feel better, and cooking takes time, and I think when you look at you, thank you. That's my cooking. Thank you. Somebody put you there for that. Anyway, so my mama taught me that's how you take care of people. So I love to cook for people. I love it when I can cook for them and take it to them. I love it when I can cook for them when they come to my house. And I've said before, best thing I ever had. It's kind of like a standing ovation, and I kind of like that. So that's how I kind of equate cooking and saving. We're just going to pretend like this is already cleaned up. At my house, I'd be off doing laundry or something like that while it creams, but we'll just pretend like it's all creamed up. Now, I've never worked this guy. Oh, that went so much better than it did back there. Wow. Okay, so I've got my sugar and my oil, and it's all creamed. And the way you know it's ready is it's really, really fluffy. So we're done with that. So I'm going to put my 3 eggs in. Here goes. I have a little girl, and her name is Daisy. And she has been cooking since she was 3. And she would make up recipes. She still makes them up. But back then, she was really heavy-handed on the baking soda. And so they tasted awful. But my husband, my sweet husband, would always eat them, no matter what. Sometimes I just pretended like I was eating them, but he really didn't. But now, she's 8, and she's learned that she really doesn't need the baking soda. If she puts enough self-rising flour in, it'll rise, and she's learned to put enough sugar and enough other flavorings like strawberries, or she'll ask for the maraschino cherries out of the refrigerator. She'll put anything in the cake. She's getting really good at it, and now we can actually eat her cakes. That's nice. I don't have to fake it anymore. That's not good when you fake it for your kid. All right. Oh, I was going to tell you about her too. Is that she can crack an egg and never get a shell in. She's like so good at that. I'm always digging on my shells. All right, so we've got this. I want to put in 2 teaspoons of vanilla into that. I have a dish problem. When they asked me to do this demo, I was like, oh, I would love that. That would be awesome. Can I bring my own dishes? Because I have to prove to my husband that I really do need all these dishes. So I brought them along. Also, this fall, Cracker Barrel is allowing me to do a whole line of dishes and then home stuff with them. I'm so excited about it. Comes out in November, so I brought a little bit of that with me too. All right, so let's pretend like these eggs are all good and incorporated in the vanilla. And I'm going to add the flour. Now, at my house, this is where it gets messy because the flour starts to fly. And if I let Daisy mix it in, and if she's got it on high, oh dear Lord, it's a disaster. So I've got 3 cups all-purpose flour here. Get this in this little cake. My grandmother, I told you this is my grandmother's recipe, and when I was in college, that's the first time I ever left town, and I was kind of the only one to ever leave. I'm still living that down. But my grandmother would send me back to college with this cake, and so it's so very special to me. Every time I make it, I say a little prayer up to heaven. She helps me out because she made it so incredibly great. So we've got 3 cups of flour in there. Now we need some salt. These were my grandmother's, and these were my great-grandmother's little cups. So special. A little baking soda and some cinnamon. Got in there. There's our dry ingredients. Let me get that going. I'm so excited that I got to do the cooking show in the first place. I was blown away that I was ever asked. And the cooking channel, look at the mess I made. The cooking channel has just picked it up, so they're airing it on Saturdays. It's actually airing right now. It's like, it's the first time I've ever been double booked. That must mean something. I guess it's so anyway, the cooking channel is airing the show now, so it's on Saturdays at 2:30. So I'm hoping they're going to let me hang around there for a while.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Love it.
Thank you. There you are again. I'm going to pay you later. Okay, let's pretend that's all good. And I'm going to add my apples. I grew up in apple country in North Georgia, so I'm kind of an apple snob. And, sorry. I'm a musician. I should know better than that. That speaker, I don't need to get too close. So I've got 4 cups of diced apples. My favorite apple these days is the Honeycrisp apple. It's so yummy. I always put a Golden Delicious in just because it's sweet. And then I love the Red Delicious, I love the Gala, I love the Fuji. Just want a good mix of apples. And while I'm here, I have to tell you this. My daddy, who's 71 years old, 3 years ago he decided he was going to start making pottery. So look, He's so good at it. I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him. And we're gonna have some of his pieces at Cracker Barrel also. We call it Paw pottery. That's his Paw. This is a Cracker Barrel piece. Okay, so we're gonna fold in these apples and get it in the oven. I've got a bundt pan over here that, had I been thinking clearly, I would have already greased, but I didn't. So I'm going to get these apples stirred in. I've never worked this fancy Cuisinart thing. There we go. Alright, so fold in the apples. You want to take it off the mixer because you don't want to beat up these apples. You'll have apple juice and then you'll have a soggy cake. Because this is actually a really thick batter. So we've got the apples all incorporated in there. And now, what I should have done before, I'm going to spray my pan. When I was a kid, this was my job, but back then we didn't have this fancy spray. We had lard at my house. And so my mama would make me get a scoop of lard on a paper towel and I'd have to rub down. I'm pretty country. I'll tell you another lard story. I've got a few. My papa was a hog farmer, so we had lots of lard. But one time, I grew up in Georgia where the summers are excruciatingly hot. And Mama stored our lard in the attic. And one time she opened the attic door and I was standing underneath the attic door and the lard fell on my head. It's the best conditioning treatment I ever had. Alright, this batter is really thick, so don't let that scare you. Get it into your greased pan. And it cooks a long time. It cooks an hour and 10 minutes approximately, depending on your oven. And this cake is incredibly good without the glaze, so if you're in a hurry or you don't want to fool with the glaze, you'll still have an incredible cake. But if you add the glaze to it, I'm pretty sure they serve it at the gates of heaven, so you should add the glaze. I'm a disaster up here. Like I lost all my elbow grease. Okay. Are you coming to our show tonight?
Oh, yeah.
So excited. You know what the band is really excited about is that this is a food and wine festival. We have a little song called Day Drinking, so we're okay with the food and wine. Hopefully we'll have enough food to take care of the wine and tasting. Alright, so after I've made this glorious mess, I'm going to put this in a 325-degree oven for an hour and 2 minutes. And in the meantime, I'm going to make that glorious glaze I told you about. So, what you need for the glaze is 3/4 cups of sugar. I think this is already on, I hope. Yeah. And a half a cup of evaporated milk. You know, this is the really rich stuff. If you can believe it, my grandmother makes gravy with just evaporated milk. And it is some rich southern gravy. She also makes sweet tea, like syrup. You like it that way. Alright, so we're going to melt the sugar in here with the evaporated milk, and then we need 1 stick of butter. Don't worry, you can make up for this later. You can eat a salad for supper.